Hi everyone, Catherine here from Inky Finger Cats. I am back with another scrapbook process video and it's a page kit. And I had sort of started, as in I'd pulled out my photo, I had trimmed off the branding strip, couldn't think of the word branding strip then. And then I thought, why am I not filming this? So I stuck my camera. So the page kit has come from Hey Little Magpie. It's designed by Sarah. I'll link her details below. She's super talented. I absolutely adore her. She's a lovely person too. And she designs beautiful page kits, and I love her page kits because they just get me started. I don't always do what I'm told, as in I don't often read the instructions. This one I was reading the instructions, so you'll see me keep pausing and probably tapping my finger going, what? And pulling out a ruler is just not my normal thing. But the reason being is that to get these triangles right, I kind of thought, no, I'm going to have to follow the instructions to get them right. So yeah, this is me going, I'm directionally challenged sometimes. I just can't work out some things easily. It's just, I don't follow instructions well, and I'm also not particularly good at working out what is it called? It's like spatially challenged. Sometimes I'm a bit spatially challenged. I can't work it out. Anyway, I'm using her thing as my idea, and then I'm gonna sort of change it up quite a bit. So her sketch is absolutely, I keep true to it. I've got those two triangles, and then I'm going to just edge them with this, the reverse side, doing 1/2 inch strips, which is exactly what the instructions suggest. And then I stopped looking at the instructions because I decided to bring in some flowers from another paper that was in a different page kit. I also went, hang on, I'm going to do this upside down. Now, I'm doing this upside down just because I thought the direction of where their eyes were going on the photograph, even though you can't see my daughter's eyes, but where my mother-in-law's eyes were going on the photograph, sort of felt like the photo needed to be down, not at the top. And then bright flowers is absolutely how I would describe my mother-in-law. She died quite a number of years ago now, and even by this point she had quite a lot of the dementia and the Alzheimer's was impacting, but it was before she went into the full care home. So having a photograph of her with my daughter, I don't know the year of this. I'm going to have to go and try and work out when the year is. I think Maya was about 5 at the time, so we're probably talking 2010, 2011, maybe 2012. But the photograph of the two of them, I know it's quite a dark photograph, but it's just lovely to see them both absolutely being so cheeky and laughing their heads off at whatever was going on. I know we were in the lounge of where she lived. She lived in like a, I think they're called like a, they're not assisted living because they don't really have an assistance. Sheltered housing, it used to be called. I don't think it's called that anymore, but they're independent flats, but there were some staff on site during the day who would just, were there as a safeguard and to support them if needs be. So yeah, she lived in this place, and they had like a community lounge, and they used to go and play bingo in there, and we quite often that's where we would find her at this point in her life, was in the lounge with her friends. And she was the life and soul of the party when she was in a good place. So I really wanted to capture that. So first of all, I brought in those doilies. Can you see those doilies? They are very old Stampin' Up! Embellishments, but they're on the desk, and this is me in my bid to use what's on my desk. And then I have this other Vicky Boutin paper. So sorry, both of the papers, both the paper that was in the kit and this paper with the flowers, both Vicky Boutin with American Crafts. I can't remember what it's called. Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. But I'm fairly confident that these stickers were also Vicky Boutin stickers for American Crafts too, that were in the page kit. So I am using papers that coordinate. It's not like me. I don't buy collections of things because I quite often will get bored of doing the same stuff, and then it just and I end up hoarding stuff then. So I just tend to buy either Sarah's page kits, because that gives me enough of a flavour of stuff, or I'll buy the odd 1 or 2 sheets of something. That's kind of how I've gone to in my purchasing now. I'd rather buy loads of embellishments and just make up the papers as I go along, if I'm perfectly honest. That's normally how it works. I have enough in my stash that I could be using. I could have been adding to this using my 100 pattern paper pile, but I didn't. So instead I'm bringing in all of these floral clusters, so you can see there's quite a lot of them there, and I sort of fiddle around on placement. Do I end up with them in the same placement at the end? Probably not. I can't actually... I know they're not too bad. I'm just looking at the page off to the side. It's not drastically different to how this looks, but I am really just trying to use up the paper that I've got on my desk from the last time I had been scrapping, which possibly was this page kit, might have been the time before, but I just never tidied up. My room is an absolute tip at the moment. I know I've said that on a few videos. There is a plan. It's just getting to the point where I have more than 5 seconds at the end of a day to do something about that plan. Don't know when that's going to happen. Anyway, so I have done all of my fussy cutting. That took a while, and I'm sorry you've listened to me waffle for so long. And then I know on Sarah's original it had got like some stenciling. I decided to just go with the packaging technique and just splodge some colour down. It's reasonably subtle. It does make it quite messy. I probably did too much, if I'm perfectly honest. I got a bit carried away, but I quite like it. It's fine. And I'm using the Speckled Egg Distress Oxide. I do go in with my heat tool to just dry it off a little bit because I'm a bit impatient. You don't need to do this. It really won't take long because I've not added huge amounts of liquid there. But I wanted to stamp happy in the background because that's what this picture says to me, is happy. So I took a very old Stampin' Up stamp, that Happy Celebrations. I've used it for years. I don't think I'll ever get rid of it. I love it. It has like 3 large happy images, you know, word images in it, and I just think it's brilliant. So I stamped that 3 times across my page in the same ink, and then it's time to start adhering the paper. Can you read the word happy? Well, you can probably just about work out that it's, well, no, you can probably work out it's happy quite easily, but is it dead obvious? Have I left one of the words out so that it's whole? No, I've not. It doesn't matter. It's just in the background. I am distressing the edges of that sort of the stripy paper. I am distressing that to add it to my page. I don't distress anything else. I don't really know why I decided to distress. Maybe it was just happiness. I had earlier that day uncovered where my distressing tool was. I didn't know where it was. Oh, I forgot to also mention a little pet peeve of mine. And the other reason why I actually tipped my my page the opposite way round was there is some words on the pattern paper. It's really subtle in the background, but there are some words in it, and I can't stand it when words are upside down. And that's how it looked to me. So that was another reason why I tipped it upside down. Just thought I'd mention that. Right, I am now just starting to adhere, and I'm adhere with a mixture of the wet glue, my ATG, and I keep all of it flat until it comes to the panel that's just overlapping the photograph. So, yep, just keeping it going. I don't think there's anything else to say about the adhering of these things. Oh, did you notice I also cut out some of the teeny tiny flowers as like scatter elements? That's what happened there. Right, this panel that I'm raising up, I didn't want it to be as thick as like my foam tape or my adhesive foam tab things. So instead I'm just using scrap cardstock and doing it 2 or 3 layers. I think it comes out 3 layers thick. It just gives it that bit of dimension, and you'll notice I'm only doing it off to the right hand side because I'm just going to use my ATG on the left hand side because that's the bit that's going to stick on the photo. And remember, that photo has been matte and layered, so it's got like the photo, the white cardstock and the black cardstock, and it's quite thick cardstock as well. So I didn't want it to be totally flat because I thought it would bend and wouldn't look great. So there is a little bit of dimension underneath those flowers, but not as thick as foam adhesive would be. Now, I'm now bringing in all of those stickers that were in the page kit. Again, Again, this is partly why I don't follow page kits particularly closely, because I scrap with the photo in mind first. So the photo is what's relevant. I can't scrap without a photograph. I need to know what the story is I'm telling. That's how I then decide what title I'm adding, what stickers I'm going to add, you know, if there's any words that are going to be added to it. That's how I do that. So I also sometimes do things like what I've just shown you there. I had quite that lovely long sort of trailing heart doodle kind of sticker. And I cut it in half, so it went behind my little cluster of my flowers and then trailed out the other side. These stickers do not stick particularly well. I don't know how old they are, but also I find that the American craft stickers just don't stick particularly well. So I am in quite a few places. I am using wet glue to adhere them. Now, on the photograph, there was just like this fire safety sign in the background, and I just didn't like it. It was annoying me that it was there, so I covered it up. I took that sticker, I did fussy cut it a little bit so it followed the shape of the sort of like the paint swatch, and added that on. I am going to add another sticker up there just because I just thought it was a bit too long then. So again, I am going to just build up a little bit of dimension to the left hand side with that bit of scrap cardstock, like literally tiny little scraps of cardstock, layering them up with a bit of glue between each layer so that there's just a little bit of dimension for the bit that's hanging off the photograph. And then I just wanted a little bit of softness. I mean, it's a very busy page, isn't it? It doesn't need this at all, but I just added that little bit of crochet trim just to the left of the photograph, just so it's got that bit of softness. And then it's just my journaling. I've not added any extra gems or anything because I included those gold stickers that were on the sticker sheet. I didn't feel the need to. And that is pretty much my page done. I'm using that sticker saying give love as my title, the pink one. I added a couple of doodles just along the edge of the triangle. That's it. As I say, I think the only thing that, you know, hindsight's a wonderful thing is I probably put too much of the mixed media in the background. Probably should have gone for a little bit less, but, you know, I still love it. I love the page. I really love the way it tells the story. I love how I adapted the original page kit. I think the layout's great that Sarah had designed, but those flowers just had to be used with this picture. It, you know, just really does sum up my mother-in-law. I hope you've enjoyed this. Please do subscribe if you want to see more. I really appreciate you watching. I am slowly but surely heading towards 1,000 subscribers, which is just insane. So please do continue to like and comment on my videos so that other people get to see them. That's how not Facebook, that's how YouTube works. And then that's all that I've got to say. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye bye.